Welcome back to the crossover with Marlon Jones and Armon Williams.
All right, welcome back to the crossover. Marlon Armon, KDUS 1060. Subscribe and follow us on our social media accounts on both our YouTube and our Facebook page at the crossover 1060. Once again, that's at the crossover 1060. And you can call into our listener line 602-260-1060 if you have a take or you got a question. Feel free to go ahead and call that number 602-260-1060. And this next segment is brought to you by Imagine Schools, which is built upon expectations high enough to live up to a child's potential. At Imagine Schools, success means developing character and enriching minds as they graduate students well prepared for college, career, and life. So visit their website today at imagineschools.org. Once again, that's imagineschools.org. Imagine Schools. And we are here live at Augusta Ranch Golf Club at Scratch Bar, 2401 South Lansing Mesa. Come on down and check us out. It's a great day to play golf, hang out at the bar, go ahead and have some libations, some food, hang out with us as well as our friends here at Scratch Bar, Augusta Ranch Golf Club, 2401 South Lansing Mesa. All right, this next story, something that came up actually this past weekend, and it's been kind of like, circulating around the scuttlebutt as far as Michigan State, who recently they suspended their coach Mel Tucker without pay while his coaching future and his remaining $77 million is left, and his remaining $77 million of his contract is left hanging out there, dangling in the balance. And we're talking about bad decisions. Well, this is a stupid decision by Mel Tucker, who's in his third year of his $95 million 10-year contract, and if he's fired for cause, the school's not going to have to pay him for his remaining contract. And Marla, I'll let you go ahead and talk. I'll give the timeline here in a minute, but
I don't know. I think that when you get the bag, right? Mm-hmm. When you finally get the bag, you work your tail off for it,
right?
You be thankful. And you'll do what you can to preserve the bag.
Sure.
And continue to work your tail off.
Right.
For the university, the kids you recruit, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot put yourself in situations that people can interpret,
right,
question, whether you did something or not.
Right.
You can't do it.
Now he claimed. Now he's like, I did it. Oh yeah, I did it, but it was consensual.
Yeah, and that's not a safe word,
right?
Because you're dealing with a wife and family of your own.
He's got a wife. He's got two sons
that aren't consenting to that.
Been married since 2000. Yep.
They're not consenting to that.
Of course not.
So therefore, whether you claim it's consensual or whatever, you can't do that.
Right. I mean, his problems could be beyond just this contract and his tenure at Michigan State University. It's probably gonna trickle over to his family life, his marriage.
How do you go into a living room and recruit kids?
Right.
You're talking to parents and. Well, yeah, it's consensual, but yeah,
right.
You're not. I'm not sending my kid to you.
And you're talking to somebody's mom.
No integrity.
Convince the mother of a child, of an athlete, that you want that kid to come and be part of your program, and that she can trust you and trust the program, that they're not going to allow him to get involved in any trouble, or that you're not going to continue or do something stupid, continue to do stupid things like you did.
It's the worst decision that you can make as a grown man,
right?
In that position. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. That you get, damn near $100 million,
right,
to coach a sport, and you secured generational wealth for your family as a result, right. And you just throw it all away over that act.
Just something ridiculous.
And then on top of that, have the audacity to say, well, it's consensual.
Yeah. And to double down and triple down on it, and then claim that she is the one that initiated that. He performed a sexual act. Okay, what he did is he performed a sexual act on himself over the phone, basically phone sex. This woman, that he's claiming that she was the one that initiated it. She wasn't the one that conducted that participated in it. Okay, she wasn't having phone sex. I find it absolutely and just absolutely unrealistic that a woman that travels the country working with schools about sexual harassment. That's what she does for a living. She talks about sexual harassment. She's a rape victim and a rape survivor. Okay, I can hardly imagine that she would be the individual that tried to insinuate what he's claiming that she insinuated, and then there's the fact that he claimed that she's trying to extort him. When he's claiming that, okay, I gave her maybe a couple $100 to her Venmo account, and I gave her some shoes, and I donated money to her nonprofit. Look, if she's trying to extort you, then she's awfully cheap, okay? Because most times people are trying to extort you. They're trying to extort you for a hell of a lot more than $200 from a Venmo account and a pair of Nike sneakers.
I think she makes a good enough living where she doesn't have to extort nobody at all. So right. I find that even more hard to believe.
His excuses are getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think he just needs to just go ahead and take his lumps and just walk away. Just simply walk away and try to go ahead and start over. Take some time off. Maybe take a couple seasons off and then try to get back into it. You know, it's happened before. We've seen it before. We've seen it with Bobby Petrino.
Yeah.
We saw it Rich Rodriguez. We've seen where coaches had indiscretion used to have, took their indiscretion and had sexual liaisons or relationships with women. Now, in their case, it's a little bit different because I think if those truly were consensual, or this is not a consensual thing, then you're talking about Michigan State and all the reputation that they've had over the last decade with this Larry Nassar stuff swimming around.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to nip this in the bud. And the reason why he's not probably going to get a penny from the remaining $77 million on his contract is because there's a clause. And there's a code of conduct clause in his contract, which states that the conduct within the university's reasonable judgment would tend to bring the public disrespect, contempt, or ridicule to the university. If there's conduct which, in the university's reasonable judgment, would tend to bring public disrespect, contempt, or ridicule on the university, that would give them grounds based on the clause within his contract to go ahead and terminate his contract and not be obligated to go ahead and pay him the remainder of that $77 million. I think he breached that.
Yep.
In particular, not just the code of conduct or bringing the disrespect to the bad reputation to the university, but he voided her contract shortly after she filed a complaint. Because she filed a complaint around January 15th. She filed a complaint, and then he shortly thereafter he rescinded the contract with her. Then you're talking about Mel Tucker, who recently named her as the honorary captain of their spring football game. And then 10 days later, he's calling her on the phone early in the morning with this, I'm sexually hot and bothered by you and blah, blah, blah. And he's trying to blame this on her. Man, it just doesn't pass the smell test.
No, not at all. And he's about to lose his contract,
right?
Lose his marriage,
yep.
Lose his job.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be a pariah from the coaching industry for a minute, at least at that Division I coaching level.
Absolutely.
Then again, what's Rich Rod and what's Petrino? What are they up to?
They're back to coaching.
They're back to coaching. So,
but he's gonna take his bumps. Ultimately, what's probably going to happen, he's going to probably have to go to a lower division school, maybe like an FCS school, or he may wind up doing an internship with Nick Saban. So it'll be interesting to see, but he's got to take his lumps. But anyway, coming up next, it's more buzz right here on the crossover, KDUS 1060. Don't go nowhere, folks.